Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, this Hispanic woman abused her elder father. Shhh. Again, today's topic is this Hispanic woman abused her elderly father. See, even when you relay that title like that, and there are none of the personnel in the society, especially within under white feminism, which is a deadly form of manipulation, demonic beings. They're right next to supremacists, right, as the most awesome mental manipulation force that's ever existed. Now, unfortunately, there are just not enough males to understand how powerful white feminism is, and every day, unfortunately, there are numbers of males that get reminded. Now, that's a different topic in itself. At the same time, it's kind of a sub commentary on that part relating to this topic, because here it is, this particular Hispanic woman who abused her elderly father. And again, in a society who looks at males in general as very disposable. See, in this situation, you have somebody saying, wait a minute now, well, this is talking about this particular Hispanic woman. Well, first of all, I mean, it's not all Hispanic. Get out of here with that. I'd be like, get out of here with that. That is infantile deflectionary tactics that I observe right through. Not only do I observe right through, I observe over it and on the side and perpendicular and obtuse and rectangular and triangular all over the place, seeing through that darn tactic. Again, another different topic, because it's like, what about the Afro Hispanics? How are they still being treated? Now, there's some sellouts among some of them, of course, but that's a different topic in itself. Because you have some good ones and bad ones, and ones that still don't understand that, they'll never be as if some want to be or look like someone's within the Panamese culture. Like this situation with this particular Hispanic woman. This one. Give me a second, hero. Give me 1 second, hero. Let me go back and show that picture again. And their tentacles because the vile hatred of white feminism, right, is very demonic. And like in this situation right here, this Hispanic woman abused her elderly father. What happened with the situation? And it was very interesting because it was so fast and so quick what I was reading. Because remember, in this white feminism, various parts of society, they have a hatred, a misogynistic hatred for males. right? Be it they do physical abusing of males, emotional abusing of males, financial abusing of males, mental abusing of males, right? But again, in society, they got unfortunately quite a number of males that's still very gullible and act like that physical abuse is only one abuse. And even though, again, even with that one, it's been found out that women abuse at just about the same levels and even way more on levels what they think men do. But that's very quiet. And it's on purpose. Just like when I sit there and read actually a little bit earlier, to make a long story short, there was something I was reading about how they was talking about how it was this it was this kind of a titleness what I was reading. It was talking about somebody asked a question of should should they forgive their father who beat and choked them, right? The automatic juices start flowing. I didn't say anything where it said in that title what it was talking about, be it was a female that supposed that this particular father or this guy was doing that too. Didn't say it. Could have been a boy, which obviously was very wrong. And second of all, just because somebody has a child does not make that person a father. A father is about commitment. Sometimes it's direct commitment and opportunity, sometimes it's indirect. But that's what a father is. And sometimes things happen in life where they may not be around as best as they can. But again, they hopefully make those things up or try to make things up to a certain way. But even with that, fathers in general will never get the type of patting on the back and stuff like that. Well, good job being a father because it's like because they don't need that. In reference to the other side, I'm a single mother. I'm a single mother, right? That kind of stuff, right? But back to this topic. See, old school Hispanicism would not tolerate this. Old school Hispanicism would not tolerate this. Within that person's culture, an Hispanic woman putting their hands on an elderly man who has health problems, oh no, there will be constructive repercussions for that. And then she'd have been reminded, don't you ever put your hands on an elderly man. Because here's the thing about it again. If it was vice versa, oh my goodness, there've been some males, there've been some females, but you know how that goes. But definitely been some males that've been like, you put your hands on an elderly woman, a Hispanic woman, oh my goodness. But when it's a man and he's abused, by a woman, well, I mean, he must have done something. Get out of here with that nonsense as well. It's like, wait a minute. So when a woman abuses a man, it's if a woman abuses a man, he must have done something. If a man abuses a woman, then oh man, off with his head, right? How does that sound? I thought it was dumb. Maybe you're right. Now it's not funny in a ha ha way, but it's unfunny in a way of saying that sounds dumb. But men get abused every day, and be it politicalness, be it various types of domestic abusing organizations that's supposed to be against domestic abusing. Overall, they ain't worried about males, and many of them are very despicable because it's like it's like so. Wait a minute, you want to talk about males doing some abusing, but at the same time, you don't want to sit there and discuss that you realize that women abuse men, right? So while we always talking about violence against women acts and stuff like that, I'm talking political. People always talking about violence against women acts or the act, and it was like the nonsense of that. So you got a woman against a violence against women act, but you don't have something dealing with for males, even though males get beat down at the same level and even and more in other different levels, and definitely get abused in other different ways by women. Boy, it's this disgusting tactic. So to go ahead and try to finish up this particular quick uh, scenario, because it was just that quick. It goes by how this particular Florida Hispanic woman that was about 49 years old. Yes, she's about 49 years old, grown. And the story goes by how this woman and her father in Florida were basically awoken on, this past Christmas morning, and how there was some type of argument that was going on. Why is that? Well, the dad, who is 73 years old, and he's not in apparently the best of basically health, unfortunately. So he called law enforcement to report an argument about what again? An oxygen machine that it was making the freaking beeping sounds. The oxygen machine that was making a beeping sound. And the daughter got mad at that. And what happened after that? Well, he called law enforcement, and law enforcement showed up, and the story goes that an officer had arrived. An officer had arrived and was greeted basically by this woman. You said a switchery little tacky, disgusting word, right? Oh, no, well, the law enforcement person was arrived, and they basically was kind of greeted. She just abused this elderly man. But you know what? She was greeted. I mean, the law enforcement person was greeted by a defendant. And you know what was the big thing? At the end of the driveway, the story goes that this particular Hispanic woman, in the arrest report, it relayed that they got into an argument over this 73-year-old elderly father, most likely a Hispanic father, because of a beeping machine that was getting on her nerves. And instead of her finding out what the problem is, that wasn't good enough. She just got tired of hearing it and got into an argument with him. You can almost imagine that darn beeping sound getting on my freaking nerves. You need to do something about that. And he's not in the best of shape. He's an elderly guy. He's 73 years old, got a lot of health issues going on with him. His mindset ain't trying to go fast as possible. So instead of her being a grown freaking daughter, a real daughter, to try to figure out this beep machine or make some calls to find out, hey, this beep machine is going on. This beep machine is doing all this kind of stuff. What do we need to do? Is something wrong with this machine or something? No, she wanted to get into that old white feminism mode of thinking, right? Hateful. She didn't want to be there, first of all. And it's like, oh man, this father is probably, he's trying to control me because I don't want to even be here, and he's making me be here, which obviously he's not, right? Probably financial situations going on, and there ain't too many probably guys lined up to try to get with her on that. I think she's like 5 foot something, 5'4", 5'5". I think like 200 something pounds, and too many guys trying to get with her. So the story goes is that she admitted. Excuse me, go back. The arrest report relayed over that they got into an argument over the elderly 73-year-old elderly father, his oxygen machine. And due to the way her father was speaking to her, woo, my goodness, because he's the way of speaking to her, an elderly 73-year-old man with these various health problems, and she gets mad the way he's speaking with her. Man, this would definitely not be tolerated in certain other countries, in Hispanic type scenario, Hispanic countries, or certain type of Hispanic areas and certain type of Hispanic countries. This would never be tolerated, right? And the report talks about how she admitted she slapped her father in the face. Ain't no way this would happen in certain other Hispanic areas in certain type of Hispanic predominant countries. There's no way this was happening. This would have not happened. Oh, this would have not happened. This disgusting, tacky, elder abusing, domestic abusing, this particular Hispanic woman needs to be thrown under the bus because that's what exactly what people would think if it was vice versa. If that had been a Hispanic woman, an elderly Hispanic woman, and a 49-year-old Hispanic male put his hands on an elderly woman, elderly Hispanic mother, and because why? Because an oxygen machine was making a beep sound. Oh man, you already know. But of course, because it's a man, for most people couldn't care less because most male lives are disposable. And unfortunately, many numbers of males that are very gullible and some very sellout don't even realize how many are used. A different show topic in itself. Mm, So again, she admitted she slapped her elderly health problem father in the face because of an argument because she was tired of the beeping sound of the machine. And they talked about her father that he agreed that yeah they argued. So the hate you what? As if he's the sit there and offender. She punched him on the left side of the head. Oh, 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 she punched him. Oh, she punched him on the left side of the head. Oh, oh. This is what they do. Oh, she punched him on the left side of the head. Oh yeah, nursing. She elderly abused her father and slapped him, physically abused him, and stuff like that on the head. This is what some of the white feminism would do, and even some other women. This is what they would do, right? When it's the woman abusing. Give me 1 second, hero. This is what they would do. I see nothing. I hear nothing. I know nothing. Yes, this is what numbers of under white feminism doctrine, what their disgusting, vile, misogynistic hatred of men in general, males in general. And unfortunately, there are some sellouts and numbers of gullible based males that are naive, some numbers of naive based males that don't understand they are hated by quite a number of women in various parts of society, especially under white feminism. Because if they can sit there and have one of those Wonder Woman type of Amazonian islands, they can do that. But then they'll get tired because they be fighting with each one another, right? They be fighting with one another. But see, they don't have to have that problem, right, on that situation, right? So right now they just use males as transactional and disposable and putting their lives in lives and fighting wars and go out there and building buildings and stuff like that, doing the most dirtiest jobs. Hey, how are we going that then, right? God, some males don't understand this game. But again, that's what under white feminism doctrine, right? The misogynistic hatred of males in general. I see nothing, I hear nothing, I know nothing. So when she was arrested, she was charged with battery of a person over 65. They said, which is a felony. And so with that, her being a elder abusing, violencer, assaulter type woman that has happened to be of Hispanic origin, Hispanicism, should I say, at that her abusing hands toward an elder who has health problems on an oxygen machine, she gets only $1,000 bond. And for the person who know, that $1,000 bond is not $1,000 that she would have to pay. there will be a percentage of that $1,000 bond. So after her being an abuser and a violencer and domestic abuser, or how you want to put it, elderly abuser, slapping her elderly health problem father on the left side of his face, the only thing she get is a $1,000 bond. And said she spent. She said she did. She spent in jail. I guess she spent doing a third. She spent 32 and a half hours that she was in jail until her release on in lieu of a $1,000 bond. What an insult! And unfortunately, not enough males understand males' health and abusing of males at the hands of women is in various parts of society is a who cares part of it because it's allowed to be looked at like that. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.